Welcome to the Mama Needs a Moment podcast. We're your hosts, Chrissy and Cindy, co-founders of Her Health Collective, and moms who totally get the chaos of juggling it all.
But here's the thing, your well-being matters. That's why we're on a mission to change the way moms take care of themselves.
We bring you quick 10 to 15 minute bite-sized episodes packed with expert advice on women's health, parenting, and self-care, plus real-life tips you can use right now.
So take a deep breath, grab your lukewarm cup of coffee, and let's make these moments count. Today's guest is someone who truly understands the ups and downs of motherhood. Sarah Parise is a mom to two girls. She's a personal trainer, yoga instructor, CEO, and the founder of Great Days by Sarah, a coaching business that helps moms prioritize their wellness for just 2% of the day. After experiencing postpartum depression, mom guilt, and anxiety herself, Sarah made it her mission to shift the story of motherhood from surviving to thriving. Through her programs, she teaches moms how to take care of themselves in simple, doable ways, and she holds them accountable so they can actually stick with it. Sarah is passionate about making sure every mom feels their best and has more great days. We're thrilled to have you here, Sarah. You're just near and dear to our hearts, so thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on your show.
Yay. Yes, I feel like we need to just interject and throw in there that Sarah is also just a dear friend. She's one of our Her experts. She's one of our Her moms and just a personal friend of both Cindy and myself. So we're honored to spend this morning with you, Sarah. Thanks for being here. And I want to dive right in because this is a topic in the Her world we talk about all the time. Self-care, self-care, self-care. We all need self-care, right? So often when moms hear the word self-care, though, we picture long spa days, bubble baths, expensive getaways. These are the things that society tells us is supposed to be how we take care of ourselves. But these can feel really unrealistic in the middle of busy family life. But self-care doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. And this is something that I love about you because you always talk about that 2% and that is the way to conquer it. So please tell us, Sarah, from your perspective, why do you think moms tend to overcomplicate self-care? And what are some ways that we can start to see self-care as something much more simple and accessible in our everyday lives?
I love this question so much because every time I talk to a new mom and they say the same thing of like, everyone make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself. Like when you have a baby, like, don't forget about you. But then like especially when you're a new mom, you're like, well, what the heck does that look like? I'm with this baby all day. A lot of times starting off like either single income or just a shift of income on things. So you're not even doing the things you maybe used to do in your single life of even getting a manicure or pedicure, much less like a long spa day or like a weekend getaway with your girlfriends, which are all amazing. And I always say, don't discredit that. That of course still falls in that self-care category, but we don't need to make it like big or perfect, or it doesn't have to look like it used to look. So that was probably my hardest lesson coming into motherhood. Like my workouts, I didn't work out for a really long time after having my daughter. Well, for a lot of reasons, but I had a broken tailbone. I was dealing with postpartum issues. There's a lot of layers to unpack there. But a lot of the reason was even when I was physically ready to do something, it was like, well, I can't get to that spin class because I have to get to the gym. It's a 45-minute class. Then I'm going to have to shower. I'm going to want to do a steam room and I'm going to have a babysitter for 2 hours. And that doesn't, one, I don't want to be away from my little one for 2 hours. Two, I can't afford to be. So instead of doing something like a lot of moms, I did nothing for a really long time. So we start to underestimate the benefit of like tiny wins. Like, okay, I can't go to that 45-minute spin class, but could I go for a walk in my neighborhood for 40 minutes with my toddler in my stroller or my infant in my stroller and get out in the sunshine and get some fresh air? Yeah. Would it feel the same? Probably not. But I think we underestimate how good the little micro wins would be. So instead of we kind of fall into this all or nothing. We're like, if I can't do it all, well, then I'm going to do nothing, or the never or always. Well, I can't get to the gym 5 days this week, so let's start next Monday. Kind of pushing it off. And then the last thing I think a lot of times, especially with moms with toddlers, this decision fatigue of what even should I do? Like, how many more choices or how many more decisions do I need to make throughout the course of the day? And it kind of paralyzes us. And it doesn't even matter if you have an infant or a toddler or your kids are in grade school or high school. There's all these decisions and all of these choices we make every single day. And it just becomes one more. So if you don't have a plan ahead of time, not like 5 minutes ahead of time, like really ahead of time, a lot of times we end up doing nothing because we're just paralyzed with that decision fatigue.
Yeah, those routines, as sometimes, I know a lot of times we say we want to be spontaneous and have more of that in our
Mhm.
lives, but those routines, especially when it comes to self-care, are crucial to making it actually happen. And as you were talking, I thought of a couple things, and one of them is I feel you on the whole must go to the gym, must make it to the gym. But then when you're talking about the walk outside in nature and getting the fresh air, that seems like a whole other level of self-care. So as I was
Mhm.
hearing you talk, like I think a lot of women, moms have something in their head of what they're supposed to be doing for their health and for their self-care. But sometimes we need to allow ourselves the opportunity to explore what other things might look and feel like. And it might not be
Mhm.
as hard of a workout as you're used to or the type of self care you think you're drawn to, but it might fill your cup in a whole different way. So I think experimenting can be really helpful when it comes to that.
It's such a good point too, because self-care doesn't have to be by yourself. Like a lot of times, of course, we would love it to be alone. I would love to do a workout without my kids eating cereal on the garage floor. That would be lovely, but it doesn't always look like that. So self-care can still be with other people, a lot of times our children, and it can still be just as beneficial.
I have a quick question for you. I know that you are
Mhm.
a personal trainer and we're circling around movement a lot.
Mhm.
Are there other things that you consider self-care that you kind of pull into this category of things that
Oh my
moms
God.
should be doing?
So much. Literally anything that puts a smile on your face or makes your body feel good and energized. So like I do like micro movements or micro moments throughout the course of the day. So one mom I just started working with, she's not into moving. She's never exercised. We're getting her step count up just slightly. So right now she's averaging like 3,000 steps a day. Her goal is to get to 5,000 by the end of September to kind of have that be her average. But she's taking these like micro moments of when she makes coffee, she's not also going to be making lunches, making her own breakfast, and cleaning up the kitchen. Instead, while that coffee brews in the morning, she comes downstairs, it brews before the kids get up, and she's going to do a mini meditation during that time. So she downloaded the Headspace app, which is one that she has found and I love. And she does a 3 minute meditation while her coffee drips. And I usually say, like, only make coffee, like, just make the coffee. And she's tying this kind of mindfulness into it. And she's only 3 days in, and she's like, you wouldn't think 3 minutes would do something. And it totally sets the tone for the whole day. She's like, I find myself moving a little slower, but I'm more efficient. I find myself sitting back and like being more mindful and being in the moment. Like when my kids get up, then I'm making the lunches and we're talking about the foods I'm putting in. And she's doing all these little shifts. So starting the day like that. I know a lot of women love to get up and read. If I were to get up and read, I would fall right back to sleep. But a lot of the people I work with work out later in the morning or even at night when their kids go to bed, and that works for them. So I really think anything filling your cup, movement for me is just like multifaceted because it fuels that physical, the mental, and the emotional, especially in the beginning of the day. So it kind of is like a multi purpose self care tool for me, but it really is anything that brings joy to you.
So I'm assuming that this is what you're talking about when you are calling it 2% of the day. It's these
Mhm.
tiny shifts. Is that what the 2% means?
It is. A lot of people say, well, 2% is still, if you do the math, like 28 and a half minutes. That's still like a big chunk of time. I said, yeah, but if you look at your screen time on your phone and you see how much time you spend on Instagram, you probably spend 2% of the day on Instagram, at least, most moms, especially. So 2% of the day can be done in one chunk in that 28 minutes, or you can sprinkle it out through the course of the day. Like my new
Okay.
client who's doing 3 minutes of morning meditation, she's doing a 10-minute walk at lunch, and then she's doing some kind of active play with her kids in the backyard. So it's also this trickle down effect. So when she gets home, the kids used to just sit in front of the TV. She used to have another cup of coffee because she was so tired. And now they're doing active play outside instead. But so when they get off the bus, they play. So her 28 minutes looks different. It's like a little bit in the morning, a little bit at lunch, and then a little bit after school. And then eventually she really wants to tie on something at the end of the day, like a stretching or something, kind of just a slower activity to kind of slow down and kind of build that bedtime routine. But we don't want to make all these changes at once because then they won't stick. It's like New Year's, when people say New Year's resolutions and they're like, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm not going to eat sugar. I'm not going to drink alcohol. And then like 4 days in, they're done with that resolution because it's too much.
Yeah.
So you have to do slow, consistent changes in order for it to stick. And that's the goal. For this is supposed to be like a lifelong thing. There is no finish line in your wellness journey.
This episode is brought to you by Her Circle, the ultimate community for moms looking for real connections, meaningful experiences, and expert support.
From mom's night out and family adventures to book club, volunteer opportunities, and expert workshops, Her Circle is where moms come together to learn, laugh, and lift each other up.
Spots are limited, so join the waitlist at herhealthcollective.com/membership and be the first to know when doors open. It sounds amazing, and I was hoping that we could just dissect that a little bit more. You had mentioned decision fatigue, and I definitely get decision fatigue. It's trying to figure out, because my schedule is constantly shifting. And so how to make this all work with a constantly shifting schedule. And especially my kids are older. So like, how do I make it work with my kids being older? So can we talk about some more practical and realistic strategies that moms can lean on daily, even if they're juggling work, kids, household responsibilities, the shifting schedules? I know it should be, I get up, I work out, I go, blah, blah, blah. But to be honest, I am not a morning person. I admire you so much because you say that you get up at like what, 5:15 every day. And that's my husband's time. He goes out into the workout space and is working out, but I'm immobile in the morning. Can we talk a little bit about this? Like, it takes my brain so long to wake up.
One, not everyone's a morning person. I've worked with women in all different aspects and stages of parenting. Like you said, your kids are a little bit older, so they're not getting up super early in the morning. So you don't have to get up super early in the morning now. And that works well for you. So it doesn't have to be done in the morning. I do think well, I can't say it's nice. It's more convenient when it's done at the same time every day. Like a woman in the neighborhood that I personal train in person, and we meet Thursdays at noon. And she works full time. It's not like she's home and she has all this flexibility, but she carved out her lunch hour, her lunch 45 minutes on Thursdays. So we do a strength training on Thursdays at noon. So that's like every single Thursday, she knows where she's supposed to be at that time. And it's with me getting strong. And then she races back and hops on a Zoom call sweaty. But this is how she's kind of built it in, because she doesn't have the benefit of getting up at 5 a.m. She doesn't want to do that. She's like, I can't do that. And after work, I'm too tired, which I hear a lot too. So a lot of times, if you're not a morning person, Cindy, like, could a mid-morning, like, kind of shut down of your schedule? Like, yes, things are always shifting. Of course, things come up and days change like that. But if you could find a time where you really block out 25 minutes for yourself on a daily basis during a time of day that works for you. So that's the biggest piece. It has to work for your schedule. So if I tell you, okay, next week you're going to get up 5:15 every single day, I'm going to send you a workout. Guess how many workouts you're going to do? Like that, like, it's just not going to happen.
I know. My alarm already goes off at 6:15 to pack lunches. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that extra hour of sleep.
Yeah. And sometimes they even tell people, like, well, could you try 15 minutes? Could you do 15 minutes earlier and just go up and go walk around the block, or just get up and move around the house just to get moving before like the chaos of the day starts? And moms are honest and they're like, no, I value every single minute of my sleep. And I honor that. I understand. I'm like this at the end of the day. If someone asks me to jump on a Zoom call at 8 p.m, I'm like, absolutely not. I am winding down by 7 o'clock. My lights are low in my house. I'm doing my journaling. I'm just like, we're slowing down for the day. And I know that will shift and change as my kids have started sports that go until 7:30 now on school nights. So I'm having to like change how I do things towards the end of the day because I am up early. So I'm winding down early. So it really does. You have to find something that works for you. And there's not one size fits all. And that's why I work one-on-one with moms to try to get them into a routine that works for not only themselves, but for their family. Because let's be honest, you're not just juggling your schedule. You're juggling your family's schedule, your partner's schedule, your work schedule, all of it. And then the second thing is finding these like prep times before the chaos. So like if you know you're going to get up and make lunches, you get the kids off to school, maybe once you get moving, maybe an hour or two after you get up, you do feel good. So as soon as you get up, put on your workout clothes, have your space set up, kind of prep before the chaos, I kind of call it. So you make lunches in your workout clothes, you get the girls off to school in your workout clothes. And as soon as the house is empty, it's not after the dishes are done or after the laundry's changed. As soon as the house is empty, then you do your time, you do your movement, you do your meditation, you do what makes you feel good. But setting up for it, you wouldn't think like getting out of your pajamas would make such a difference. But if I walk to the bus stop and I haven't moved yet, and my goal is to run after I drop my kids at the bus, and I still have my sweats and a t-shirt on, I'm not coming home to put on run clothes. I'm going to sit down on my computer. I'm going to check my email. I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to straighten up the kitchen from the chaos of the morning. So prepping before the chaos, I think, is just a huge thing.
Everything you're saying makes perfect sense. And also, I know from being in community with hundreds of moms every day that a big refrain that we hear is this feeling of guilt in taking time for ourselves. Like we're stealing time away from our kids or our partner. The truth is, when moms are running on empty, nobody wins. We know that. So how can we reframe the way that we think about self-care so it feels like the lifeline it is instead of some kind of indulgence? And I would love to know what has helped you personally and the moms that you work with move past that guilt.
A huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Your support truly means the world to us. Thanks to you, we are able to continue the weekly production of Mama Needs a Moment and getting this valuable information from these incredible guests out to you, our listeners. This final question has been recorded as a bonus and is available for our Patreon subscribers to go listen to right now. Be sure to log into your Patreon account and have a listen. If you're not a subscriber, we'd love to have you. The link is in the show notes.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing your passion. Your passion is abundantly apparent, and your wisdom with us. It's always a joy to speak with you, and we appreciate you being a part of the Her community and just always bringing your light everywhere you go.
Thank you so much. That makes my heart very happy.
We love you, Sarah. Thanks so much.
That's a wrap. You carved out a few moments just for yourself, and that's a big deal.
We understand that time is limited, but we've got your back, which is why we keep these episodes short, sweet, and packed with goodness.
Don't miss a thing. Hit the follow button so you're always the first to know when a new episode drops. If you had as much fun as we did, let us know by leaving a review.
And remember to let other moms know that we're here doing motherhood alongside you. Grateful to share a few moments taking care of you.